Well, we've all heard of growth versus fixed mindset. And I think it's a great concept for people to really contemplate, not only for themselves to understand where they are, but if you are a leader or want to become a leader at some point in the future, that you understand that concept and how it impacts how people develop themselves and how they can actually impact positively or negatively the growth of an organization. So it's interesting to me that when I think about growth versus fixed mindset, that people also tend to overlook the fact that regardless of if you have a growth mindset, you still have to make a very conscious decision to develop yourself. So in other words, just because, hey, I have a growth mindset because I feel like it's good to have things change, that doesn't mean you will change. You actually have to make a conscious effort to work on yourself. And that's personally as well as professionally. But because that's where we're focused is the professional side, let's talk about that. And I think in my mind, I think about so many people that over the course of my career think that they are awesome. And that sense of just believing that they're so great that they tend to realize or not realize, they tend to overlook the fact that they're very rarely all that great. So if most of how great you are comes from your own belief in that, then you're probably not working too much on your professional development. I remember thinking back when I was long ago, ages and ages ago in my college courses, and we would have these people, these old people, old people who are the age I am now, that would audit classes. And I remember thinking, why in the world would you voluntarily come sit in an ancient philosophy class or a historical perspectives of math evolution or some strange class? Why would you choose to do that? I remember thinking, gosh, I have to be here because I'm here to get a degree. So why are you here? As I got older, I completely understand that. In fact, I'd love to go back and take one of my philosophy classes from college again, just because it was so fascinating to me then, but now I know what implications it has in life. I would be so far advanced myself, but we find ways to continue to work on ourselves. When you have made a decision, though, to work on yourself, whether it's auditing a class or it's continuing to read books or it's being a part of this app, there's a part of you that has said, okay, you know what? I believe this is important to me and I believe that it will help my professional career. So now here's the key. As we move forward and my points on how to make this really poignant for your life, the real critical thing is, have you told anybody? Have you made an actual out loud statement to somebody that you know, respect, and trust to say, you know what? I'm working on myself and this is what I'm doing. And the reason that that's so important is for what I call having an accountability partner. And we'll dive into how you find that person a little bit later. But thinking about accountability means that you're not just making the statement to yourself, you're saying it out loud. And when you say something out loud, there's a couple things. Number one, you have made more of a commitment to it. Number two, if you've picked the right person to tell that to, they're also going to be able to give you feedback. They'll be able to share maybe their thoughts, suggestions. They might not always be the same line that you were thinking, which might be helpful, or you might not really enjoy it. But regardless, having other perspectives helps us to be able to expand our horizons. But ultimately, that statement out loud means that you really are serious about this. And here's my top 4 points to make sure that you always possess a continually developing mindset. Number 1, make the commitment to yourself. So if you think about vision boards, throughout my office, I have pictures of places I want to go. I have statements of things that are really important. And recently, as I began a new fitness and weight loss journey, I actually have a picture of Angelina Jolie when she was Tomb Raider, because that's what I want to go for. But that commitment to yourself is that first step. And that means understanding why you want to make that commitment and helping you realize what it will help you achieve. So if you take definitely this is not the professional part of this, but if you think me taking this picture of Angelina Jolie is kind of funny, it's really because the level of fitness that she was in that movie is something that I am striving towards. I'm 51 and I believe that I need to be in the best shape of my life. And in order to do that, I better have some goals and I better have a way to work on it. Step 2, I said it before, take your commitment and tell it to somebody that you trust, that you know and respect and admire. And here's the thing, if this is a person that you already admire within your own professional sphere, ask them what they do to work on themselves. Learn from them. Say, are there classes that you've taken or podcasts that you listen to or books that you have read that have really helped you? And tell me why. And through that dialogue, now you have somebody to be accountable to, but that can also be your support. Rarely are any of the goals that we try to achieve in life accomplished when we just try and do them without telling anybody. There is that sense of having somebody who's got your back, or at least has your ear. Number 3, find the format that works best for you and then go with it. So, I started my career long ago as a teacher. And I remember thinking it's really interesting how different students learn and how they retain information and what gets them excited and motivated. But it's the same thing with us as adults. So the same concepts that applied to us as children still apply to us today. However, most of us in grade school that are my age and older had those opportunities for different learning environments. We had one. And now we have podcasts and we have visual learning like this format, which is my favorite and works best for me. We have books, which I love to read. And I've always been a fan of an actual physical book versus a Kindle. Yet, because I have so many books, I finally had to put them all on Kindle. But the format that works best for you is the one that you want to pursue. There may be lots of great material out there, but unless you find the format that really works for how your brain operates, the way you retain information, and what stimulates you, then you're always going to feel like there's a little piece missing. Number 4, this is the tough one. Hold on. This is really big. Schedule the time. I make sure that there is one time each week where I have at least 1 hour dedicated to my professional development. And actually, I do more than that, but I have 1 hour every week without doubt and without fail. And that hour is protected. Why is it protected? Because if I didn't, it's so easy for me, especially running a company, to lose that in the chaos. So it is blocked out on my calendar. No one can schedule anything during that time, and nor can I. And so that may be reading a book, listening to a podcast. It may be reading articles, online journals. It's about making sure that I have time for that. And you need to do the same. So it's great to say that you want to get to the C-suite, but if you're not there yet, maybe you're a store manager, maybe you're a cashier, maybe you're just starting out and leaving college, and you say, great, I want to get to the C-suite, you have to have a plan. Having a continually developing mindset is one of the first key ingredients, but the second is actually doing the work. And so this is a tale of how mindset made a difference in 2 different people. So I had a manager who wanted a promotion, but was unable to receive feedback well. And I had a salesperson who wanted a promotion who was not ready. And in these cases, let's call the manager who wanted to be promoted, let's call that person Bill. And then my salesperson who wanted to move into management, let's call her Mary. So Bill and Mary, 2 different people, 2 very great sales backgrounds themselves, some really talented people, some great people, wonderful people, people that I liked personally very much. And I always say, when you like someone, you say, yeah, they're a great person. If there's a but coming after that, then you know that there's something that you need to listen to as a leader. And there was a but with each of these people.